The Lord be with you. A reading from the Gospel according to Mark. James and John, the sons of Zebedee, approached Jesus. "Master," they said to him, "we want you to do us a favor." He said to them, "What is it you want me to do for you?" They said to him, "Allow us to sit one at your right hand and the other at your left in your glory." "You do not know what you are asking," Jesus said to them. "Can you drink the cup that I must drink, or be baptized with the baptism with which I must be baptized?" They replied, "We can." Jesus said to them, "The cup that I must drink you shall drink, and with the baptism with which I must be baptized you shall be baptized. But as far as seats at my right hand or my left, these are not mine to grant. They belong to those to whom they have been allotted." When the other 10 heard this, they began to feel indignant with James and John. So Jesus called them to him and said, "You know that among the pagans their so-called rulers lord it over them, and their great men make their authority felt. This is not to happen among you. No, anyone who wants to become great among you must be your servant, and anyone who wants to be first among you must be slave to all. For the Son of Man himself did not come to be served, but to serve, and to give his life as a ransom for many." The Gospel of the Lord. Life is full of people like James and John. People seeking to take advantage of their position. People greedy with ambition and trying to find the best possible means of going to the very top in jobs, in power, and in position. These sons of Zebedee, John and James, had already a privilege of being in the small circle of Christ, but they wanted more. They wanted to go further and guarantee their future. And Jesus spoke to them and spoke to us, because one time or other we too have in us this spirit of James and John. Because we too are very much looking for the best places, for the greatest privileges, for the best paid jobs, and all the rest. And sometimes we do not consider the consequences and the pain we might cause to others in our greed of going to the very top. And so Jesus opened their eyes, and he opens ours to us. Jesus explained that following him involves sharing in the service of others and in carrying a cross. Jesus was explaining to them that being a disciple of Christ is finding freedom in your life, finding recognition of being the Son of God. This is the most important thing of being a disciple. But to be a disciple, to be a missionary, because today is Mission Sunday and we are all missionaries, we need to carry the cross. We cannot just look for a privilege, we cannot look for power, we cannot look for a position, but we need to go to the very end of the scale and be of service to others. This is what Christ has taught us, and this is what we are to do if we want to be disciples of Christ. This, of course, is not easy. It takes a lifetime of training and of practicing. What we have received through the baptism that we will soon be doing now to this Elliot, our baby present here. He has a long way to go in his life as we, still on earth, are finding our own life to be fulfilled as missionaries, as disciples of Christ, to give witness of this baptism that we have received when we were babies. This gospel is a call to holiness. By being a servant as Jesus was. And this may sound very challenging. God offers salvation in accepting the cup of suffering, which is part of our daily struggle of living and coping with the joys and pains of life, and especially of a family life. I know we have a lot of young parents here present who come every Sunday. Parenting poses a greater challenge this day than ever before. And we know how difficult it is today to cope with life, with their education, with their upbringing, with their living. Through living in the humdrum routine of family life, of loving each other, rearing the children, nursing the sick, going to work, correcting homework, and seeking nothing in return, this is the simple way of a disciple of Christ and of missionary today. So don't go for big things. We cannot think that because we are not following the example of Damien, for example, the priest, a Belgian priest, who one day in his life decided that he would leave everything, his parish, his community, his family, and go in a colony of lepers in deep Africa and live with them for 7 years until he died too of leprosy. These are the saints of today and the missionaries, that they are role models, but we are not asked to do the same. We are only asked to live the simple life of Christians in our family, as parents, as adults, in our place of work, wherever we are. This is, in our profession, this is what means today being a missionary and being a witness of God and being a disciple of Christ. Serving others in the family, at the place of work, wherever we are. It could be, and it is tough very often, as it has been with Christ, serving others and being crucified on the cross. But we too must follow that footstep and live it to the full. Let's read together before we leave, before we celebrate the sacrament of baptism to Elliot. Let's read together the prayer that we have on the screens. Dear God, in your endless friendship, thank you for being patient with me. Help me to be patient with myself. Let me see my contrariness as leading me closer to your love and peace. Thank you for your presence in the midst of my disquiet, which I know will be turned into true beauty and endless love. Amen.